Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Megan. I work with the Illinois Student Assistance Commission here in Illinois, and I'm facilitating the session today. We are joined by a lovely group of people from many different institutions who will be sharing their insights and their information about their institution. A few things for you as attendees as we get started. How do you ask your questions, first off? Know that the Q&A at the bottom of your screen is where you can enter your questions for any of the panelists that we have today. Your camera and microphone is turned off for today's session, but again, you can still ask any question that you would like of the panel. And then you, of course, can sign up for any more sessions that you're interested in through the IACAC website, just like you signed up today. And then the recording will be made available afterwards on the IACAC.org website. So I'm going to pass it off to our lovely panel and Adam to get us started. So have a great session, guys.
Thanks, Megan. Everyone's bearing with me 1 second here while we go ahead and share our PowerPoint.
Right. And as he pulls it up, so I will be going first, so I'll just go ahead and kick us off. So, welcome everybody to the Flagship Schools Beyond the Border of Illinois. So today you're going to be hearing from 5 schools that are all Big Ten schools, and we are all beyond the border of Illinois, because we find out that Illinois is right in the heart of the Big Ten schools, and that so many of them are either in Illinois or right next door in another state, and these are the ones that are a little bit further out. So we're going to showcase today just a little bit about ourselves as universities, as well as just some questions about our admissions process, and we're going to try to make sure we save time for questions at the end. As we're going through, as you put a question in the Q&A, we just ask if you can just give us like a little indicator of who you're asking the question to, like you could say UMN, insert question, or Jacob, insert question, just to give us a little bit of help as we navigate the questions. So Adam, we can go to the next slide, will kick me off. Next slide as well. So for the University of Minnesota, like all of us here, Big Ten school, we are 31,000 undergraduate students. So we are a big school. However, across the entire university, regardless of major, our student to faculty ratio is 17:1, so not too bad. Roughly 80% of our classes are fewer than 50 students. 30% of our classes, or 64% of our classes are fewer than 30 students, so not too bad. For typical admitted student to our school, this is the middle 50% profile. This is not like a cutoff at all whatsoever. If you're well within these numbers, less stress. If you're outside of them, we'll still admit you. It just means it's a little harder to get in. That's all that means. For us, the ACT across the entire university is a 2632, SAT 1300 to 1460. Top 20% of their high school class typically. Again, you don't have to be this, it's just typically what we see. Next slide, please. How we organize our majors is we have 150 majors and over 135 minors, and we put them in 8 direct admitting colleges. So when you apply, you're not just applying to the university overall as a whole, but you're actually choosing your top 2 colleges of interest. And so with that in mind, some of our colleges are more competitive than others. For example, our College of Science and Engineering is the most competitive program on campus. So just so you all know. So definitely connect to our admissions office if you have any questions about like where maybe a particular major is. But generally, as you kind of look at these names, you'll kind of have some connection to where our programs are. I will say our Carlson School of Management is our business school for those that are curious. Next slide, please. Now for us, we are Minnesota's Land Grant Research Facility. We are also a top 10 public research university in the nation. So we have a lot of research available for our students to get involved in. Also, we have over 900 student groups on campus. A lot of my fellow schools today will have a lot of student groups as well. So we take pride that for all of us, and including the University of Minnesota, that you are able to find someone who has similar interests to you on campus. I guarantee you at any of these schools, someone on campus is gonna have similar interests to you. You just gotta reach out to them and get connected. And honestly, it's 2020. We all got digital ways to make it happen. So it's very easy to do so. Next slide, please. Study abroad, University of Minnesota is one of the most robust in the country with over 200 programs in over 60 countries. So we take pride that regardless of major, you are able to study abroad if you choose to, whether it be 3 weeks, a summer, a semester. If you want to diversify your experience and see another part of our incredible world, we highly encourage you to do so, and we have capacity to help you get there. Next slide, please. Now, what separates the University of Minnesota from, I think, other schools that are similar size to us is just our immediate location right next to a major metropolitan city in that Minneapolis and St. Paul. Our other big schools, we're not saying at all that they can't get connected to a major city or that there's not like a city just right nearby. But for us, it's just that with Minneapolis being the major city, like a major city in Minnesota, and that for us, this train This is called the Metro Transit, the city train for Minneapolis and St. Paul. You hop that train, you ride it 4 stops, 20 minutes, and you're in downtown Minneapolis, the skyline you see in the top left there. So it just really is some immediate connection to whether it be the professional side, like the 16 Fortune 500 companies that are based here, some examples you see up top, or maybe just on the social side, right? Seeing maybe professional sports team, like right now, our Twins playing at Target Field, go Twins. But maybe also if you want to see the Vikings or our 4 other professional sports teams right off this train, amongst, our own, unique restaurant scene and cultural scene. Now, getting to Chicago from Minneapolis, not too bad. It's an hour flight. The airport actually is connected by this train as well as a 6-hour drive, straight shot, or Amtrak or Megabus. Also takes about 8 hours to get here. Next slide, please. So for the nitty-gritty of our application. So very briefly, we take one application, whether it be the Golden Gopher or the Common App. We are totally fine with either. Honestly, about 65% of our admits last year did the Common App. So it is totally cool if you want to do the Common App. It automatically considers you freshman admission, honors, and scholarships. And then what a complete application includes is filling out the application, self-reported academic records. We're expecting you to self-report. Do not send us your initial transcripts. It must be self-reported, as well as an application fee of $55. For the fall 2021 application, it is no test required. You will probably hear test optional. Basically, it is test optional for us, but our language is no test required, meaning that you literally are not required to submit a test. However, you can if you want to. The one note I would say, and this is going to be common, is that on the application, there's going to be a question, yes to consider test scores or no to consider test scores. Once you submit your application, based on the choice you make, you are locked in on that choice. You cannot change your mind later on. If, like, let's say you choose no to consider test scores and then try to send them to us later, we're not going to take them, okay? So please be careful at the time of submitting your application on your choice on that. Our early action regular decision, we also have an early action too that's new this year of December 1st. I forgot to add that, I'm sorry. Basically, the only difference between early action and regular decision is if you apply by early action, you may get admitted sooner. You may get admit, defer, or deny. Admit and deny are pretty straightforward. Defer just means you need to take more time. Outside of that, same consideration for honors, admission, and scholarships. So if you are someone that maybe you have your test score, or like you have a test later on and you want to wait till you have your test score, I encourage you to wait until you get your test score and just make sure to apply before January 1st, because that won't be a detriment to you as far as admissions go, okay? Nursing, you are required to apply by November 1st. This is the only program that requires this, so please be careful. Please be note of that, that you must apply by November 1st for our nursing program. And now that's about it for me. So now I'm going to pass it to Adam to talk about Nebraska.
Thanks, Jacob. So at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, we are actually the smallest total enrollment in the Big Ten, which really puts us in a unique position for a lot of our students because we're also one of the most affordable and one of the largest college towns in the country. Our students are able to have a lot of resources available on campus and throughout the city of Lincoln, and really get an enjoyable four-year experience that's really going to set the stage for the years after they graduate from Nebraska. We are in Lincoln, which is the capital of the state of Nebraska. We're geographically positioned right in the center part of the country, and about 21,000 undergraduate students at Nebraska, really making up about 300,000 people in the city of Lincoln. So again, a really unique opportunity for our students to get to know their classmates and their professors really well, but also to have a lot of the amenities of a larger city and just the overall opportunities for involvement and internships and careers moving forward. We're also a land grant institution, and what that means is we essentially have a strong focus on research, and the University of Nebraska-Lincoln is really making a huge impact not only throughout the state of Nebraska and through the country, but across the globe. We're the flagship institution as well. So we're the Big Ten institution. That big red N that you see in the top left of the screen is something that we wear very proudly and really just contributes to the overall passion for the institution. Campus is situated right in downtown Lincoln, very much an urban setting, but when you're on campus, you really know you're on campus. But at the same time, you're able to walk across the street and be right in downtown Lincoln. So very easy to navigate overall. We also have a public bus system that goes throughout the city, and we have no requirements or issues with freshmen having cars on campus or anything like that. So our out-of-state students find it very easy to get to Lincoln, to bring a car to campus, to have plenty of parking, but also being able to navigate a city that might be a little bit new to you very easily. So our students are really at a strong destination hub throughout a lot of different aspects of their experience at Nebraska. We have about 150 total majors across 10 colleges, so students are really able to get involved in a lot of different programs and interest areas, while also having a lot of fun across about 500 student organizations. So these are preparing students for life after college, while also providing you with a lot of those relationships and networking opportunities that are really gonna set the stage as you move throughout your 4 years at Nebraska. You'll see a picture of campus here, which is really the center part of our campus. You'll notice our College of Business, which is a glass and beige building right in the center there. Our Rake School, Kaufman Hall, just to the right of that building. And then our green space, which is our quad area right in front of our student union. So this is a good image of center part of campus there. Students are really active on campus. We have 150 miles of bike trails throughout Lincoln. And our students are also studying abroad as well. We just really have a lot of opportunities for students to connect and engage throughout their time at Nebraska. And again, really be able to have those opportunities that students are looking for as they begin their career. Here's that image of our College of Business. Is actually our largest college at Nebraska. We have about 10 different programs with our College of Business, and this facility was actually completed in fall of 2017. So it's about a 3-year-old building, but it was 100% privately funded for about $84 million total cost. So not only did our alumni play a huge impact, but world leaders that really just believe in the mission at Nebraska and the resources and opportunities that we afford students. But our College of Business was part of about $291 million in facility enhancements across our College of Engineering, which is beginning a new facility and renovations to a lot of our existing facilities as well. That will be completed in fall of 2022. And then our College of Education Human Sciences just started the groundwork officially on a new fall 2022 facility as well. So 3 of our biggest colleges at Nebraska getting full upgrades, and really just shows the advancement that we're really trying to push forward at Nebraska, and just the overall resources and modern technology that we can provide our students. As I mentioned before, we're a public research institution, top 25 program overall, and our undergraduate students day one are able to take part in research that's really making global strides in a lot of different areas, and most recently, obviously, COVID has kind of captured the world and really brought us to a screeching halt. And our faculty, staff, and students are really at the forefront of that research and able to not only make an impact throughout the world, but especially throughout the state of Nebraska. And our students are able to participate in essentially fully funded research across all 4 years. So there's no limits to the opportunities that students are afforded. And as the state of Nebraska overall, we're a top 5 producer in soybeans, beef, and corn. So the state of Nebraska is really a huge contributor to agriculture and to the global food supply as well. So again, our students are really in a unique position to make a worldwide impact very early on. Some popular and common employers that our students intern and have full-time positions at post-graduation include several Fortune 500 companies. Union Pacific Railroad and Kiewit are headquartered in Omaha, which is about 40 minutes from Lincoln. It's the largest city in the state of Nebraska. A lot of our students are getting internships and working full-time with Google and Microsoft, even out where I'm based regionally in Chicago for the Chicago Tribune. And Nelnet, the world provider of student loans and resources available to students, is also headquartered in Lincoln. We've got a lot of unique opportunities for students to not only have an affordable college experience, graduate from one of the best value schools, but also have some really unique opportunities afforded to them across all of our colleges in a variety of different industries, and a lot of those great networking opportunities overall. Just want to focus real quick on scholarships and our application here. So we are considered test optional for the fall 2021 year. You'll see our out-of-state scholarship estimator at the bottom there. You can see all the scholarships that you'll be considered for by just punching in your GPA. We're enrolling in mission institutions. So you can apply between now and May 1st and be automatically considered for merit scholarships. What's a little more unique for Nebraska compared to other institutions, we don't require you to be locked into consideration for test scores or for GPA. If you're able to take the test later on this year, that's great. You can send those over. But if you're not able to do that, we can review you for admission scholarships solely based off your GPA. We're available on the Common App and on our institutional website as well. And if you guys have any other questions, we'll have our contact information available here soon. Pass it over to Josephine.
Hi guys, my name is Josephine West. I'm with The Ohio State University. Like all my fellow presenters, we are a Big Ten D1 school in Columbus, Ohio. That is my information. It'll be at the end also, but I live here in Chicago. So I am based here in Chicago, and I am your representative. So whenever there is questions or presentations or anything, or your counselor is probably in touch with me. Definitely you can reach out to me anytime. Next slide. So I first want to say welcome and thank you. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to be here and learn about our institutions. This is Brutus. He is our mascot. So he is pretty popular, pretty fun. And it kind of goes along with, he's just awesome. He's won like the mascot of the year for the past few years, but I just want to say thanks for being here. So Buckeyes by the numbers. So we are the largest. We are the biggest of the Big Ten institutions. So we have 46,820 undergrads on our Columbus campus, with over 200 majors to choose from. So you have a lot of different majors to choose from. Double majoring is an option, and definitely different major minor combinations. So you can work with your advisor for all of those. What I'm really proud of, though, is even though we are the largest and we're, our numbers high, we have a 19-to-1 faculty to student ratio. So that really goes to show that at The Ohio State University, we're really working on making sure that you have that personal experience. So 80% of your classes will be less than 50 students. So we do pride ourselves on that. We have 1,300 student organizations. So no matter what you want to do, I'm sure we have a club for you. We have intramural sports and club sports. So intramural is a little bit more fun, relaxed, club's a little bit more serious. So we have those, and we also have Greek life. So for us, Greek life's about 15% of our population. So 15% of almost 50,000 is a lot, but that just goes to show you that 85% are doing something else. So, you will be able to make it whatever you want. What I think is really special and what I love about Ohio State is the fact that no matter where I go, I run into a Buckeye. So I was in Rome wearing my Ohio State sweatshirt, and I ran into a Buckeye. And I was in California getting off a plane, and I ran into a Buckeye. So, and that is because we have over 550 living alumni. So throughout the world, we have the most living alumni. So it really goes to show that no matter where you go, you're going to run into a Buckeye. Buckeyes hire Buckeyes, Buckeyes intern Buckeyes, and Buckeyes give scholarships to Buckeyes. So we do have a wonderful scholarship from our Chicago Alumni Club that all of the Chicagoland students are eligible for. So we're really proud of that. We do have 36 varsity sports, Big Ten D1 sports, with 6 national titles. So I'm so excited. Big Ten college football starting October 24th. And so it's always definitely fun to watch. But then the last row really goes to show you that you're going to get a very good value for your dollar by going to The Ohio State. So we're ranked number 2 as far as our graduates getting jobs. So we are in that real fortunate spot where companies are coming to us for our students, and our students are not, having to go out and look for jobs. So we hold college fairs on our campus. Job fairs. We hold, so let's say the school holds 2 a year, and then the College of Business will hold 2 a year. College of Engineering will hold 2 a year. So we're in that really great spot where over 440 companies come to our campus twice a year for to give our students jobs. We're number 17 as far as best public university, and what I really love to stress is that we are in the top 20 for best public college value. So you can and often will pay less at the Ohio State University than going to an in-state Illinois school. So I do stress that you probably could go to any of our institutions with scholarships for less than Illinois, and so you can go out of state if that is something you are looking to do. Next slide. We are an academic powerhouse, so we are very focused in research. So along with most of my presenters, we're going to all be research powerhouses. We are in the top 12 for research, and it's a big focus on our campus. So we do have a hospital on our campus, the Wexner Medical Hospital. It's one of the top teaching hospitals in the country, and we have the James Cancer Center, which is actually one of the top cancer centers in the world. So those are right there on our campus. We also have an animal hospital. We have an airport, if anyone's interested in aviation, and we also have a farm on our campus. So we are committed to research. We definitely are committed to study abroad and internships. But one thing I want to emphasize is that we are state-of-the-art in our technology, and we are the only in the world Apple digital flagship school. So Apple did choose us, and this is for the 4th year, where we are their digital flagship school. And what that means is all of our students do get an iPad as freshmen, and you have that iPad for the whole time you're on our campus, and you can communicate with your professor through that iPad. You can take notes through that iPad, and so Apple is definitely committed to making sure our students have top state-of-the-art technology, as well as they do have a building on our campus for teaching our students coding. So we're really proud of that. On this next slide, you'll see though, one thing that I think really sets us apart is the fact that we have this Big Ten D1 beautiful campus, but about 1.4 miles down the road is the 14th largest city, a thriving, economically thriving city. So it's Columbus, Ohio. It has a major international airport 10 minutes from campus. And so you can definitely just fly in and take an Uber from the airport and be on campus in 10 minutes. But it's a really good built-in market for those internships with Fortune 100, Fortune 500 companies. Columbus is also the capital of the state. So if anyone's interested in political science, the Capitol building's about 7 minutes from campus. So we'll track world-class attractions. So lots of musicians and comedians come through Columbus, and you guys would get tickets for those at a discount. So it's a affordable, accessible, and friendly city. Next slide. So next slide. Okay, application. So we are on the Common App exclusive. So we just need your Common App and your official transcript. That will be a complete application for us. Your ACT or SAT score for 2021 will be optional, and a letter of rec for us is always optional. So right there on the Common App, it'll say, do you want us to use your ACT or SAT score? You'll put yes or no. So that is how you apply. Next slide. So one thing I want to stress though is we've always been holistic. So we've always looked at basically these 9 factors for admissions, which is your college prep, your AP or honors, or your, what rigor did you take in school, but also how will you contribute to our campus? Are you a leader? Are you involved? So we have always looked at these. So you never were just a number with the Ohio State University. And next slide. The most important thing though are these merit scholarships. So we do have an incredibly generous scholarship called the National Buckeye Scholarship for non-resident students. So this scholarship can be up to $13,500. So the most important thing though is you do have to have your Common App and your high school transcript in by November 15th to be eligible for this. Next slide. And then I would love you to just come to our Buckeye Preview Day, which is October 3rd or 12th. You just go to Scarlet and Gray. Let me see here. Oh, sorry. You just go to Scarlet and Gray. Sorry, my screen went off here. Adam, is it showing?
Yep, we see it.
Okay, you can see it. Okay, scarletandgray.osu.edu. You put in the enter code preview21, and this will be with all of our academic partners for Academic Preview Live. And I think that's it for me. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Anna Fernandez and I'm the admissions counselor and recruiter for Penn State University. We are located in central Pennsylvania. And I'm here enjoying talking to everybody here and learning all about the other schools as well. Next slide, please. So at Penn State, we have 275 majors and 185 minors. And all of these are housed in our academic colleges, and we have 13 of them, and they're all on the screen here. Our most popular colleges at Penn State is going to be the College of Nursing, the College of Engineering, and our Business College. Next slide, please. Penn State is a Research One institution, which means we get significant funding for research. Last year alone, we received over $900 million for undergraduate research. And what this means to you as a student is that you can start doing research at Penn State as early as your first year. Penn State also has a top-ranked career service office, number 9 in the Princeton Review. And we provide these career service offices in all of our colleges and in all of our campuses as well. And these career service offices provide students or prepare students for our career fairs by offering them resume workshops, career counseling, and they even do mock interviews with the students, as well as helping all of the students find those important internships necessary to gain experience and build your resume. Penn State is also a 50 world-class university. We were recently ranked 54th in the world out of 18,000 universities. We also have a study abroad program, just like the other schools mentioned as well. We have over 300 of them, they go in over 54 different countries. And we have so many programs that students can find time in their academic schedule to participate in one of these study abroad programs. Now, what makes Penn State unique is that we are one university, but we have 20 unique campuses across the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, as you can see in the map there. All of our campuses offer their own 4-year degree if students want to stay at just one location, or students can take advantage of our 2+2 plan, where students can start almost any degree at one campus for the first 2 years and then transition over to another campus. All of these campuses range in size from about 500 students to 5,000 students, with the exception being our main campus, which is University Park, that has about 46,000 students. So it all depends the type of college experience that students want to have. If you want to have a big name university and a great education, but you want it at a smaller campus, we offer that for you. We have campuses that are near Pittsburgh, New York City, and Philadelphia, if you want to be near a large city as well. We have over 1,200 clubs and activities at Penn State, with 900 alone at our main campus, University Park. We have intramural sports, club sports, D1 and D3 athletics. We have theater companies, improv groups, and we have the world's largest student-run philanthropy group in the nation. They've raised over $10 million last year for pediatric cancer. Next slide, please. And here's some information on what you need to know to apply at Penn State. So to estimate your eligibility, here is the mid 50% of GPAs and SAT and ACT scores for students. We don't have a firm cutoff or an average. This is merely the mid 50% of numbers of students who were accepted at Penn State last year. At the bottom, you're going to see our application deadline. Our application opened on August 1st. And if you apply by November 1st, which is our early action deadline, you will receive a non-binding decision by December 24th. Some new things for Penn State this year is that we've extended our early action deadline from November 1st to November 15th, and we're also test optional this year. So when you apply, you're going to be asked if you want your test scores included as part of the evaluation process, and you're simply going to choose yes or no. Next slide, please. That's you, Jackson.
Thanks, Anna. Hi, everyone, and welcome. My name is Yaxin Hernandez, and I work for the Office of Multicultural Outreach and Undergraduate Admissions. I'm very excited to be here today with you. Our office really believes in the power of the one student, and that higher education can really change the trajectory of a family and a generation. So what our office does is we provide the leadership and the direction for Penn State's university-wide effort to recruit a racially and ethnically diverse student body and provide the access and exposure to the wealth and abundance of opportunities that we offer at Penn State. So how do we do this? We do it with our team. I work at the University Park campus at Penn State, but we also have offices in Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, and a partnership with our Penn State Harrisburg campus, their Office of Multicultural Recruitment and Community Affairs. In addition to that, we work closely with our CCML representatives, and these are our academic college representatives in the multicultural leadership division. And so they really help us with all of our programs and with the recruitment of our underrepresented students as well. And lastly, we work closely with our SMART students, and our SMARTies are our Student Minority and Advisory Recruitment Team. And this organization was actually founded by undergraduate students themselves in 1988, where they saw that there was a need for the representation and the perspective of the minority students and students of color to be relayed to our prospective students and family members. And so that's how our SMART students came about, and today they work closely with our office in undergraduate admissions. So what you see here is our 5 bus trip events that we host every year for our prospective students. A key thing to note is typically these bus trip events are for our students surrounding in the Pennsylvania area, New York, New Jersey, Baltimore, Maryland, and New York. However, because we are living in this virtual environment, many of these bus trips have moved virtually. And unfortunately, we can't have students on campus, but we are able to reach students nationwide, whether that be Illinois, Texas, California, from all across the nation. And so what these bus trips typically entail, we provide the transportation, the food, the lodging, the activity fees, and we really host a variety of sessions and workshops with each different event. So again, they've changed a little bit because we are virtual, but we have included a campus tour, CCML session where students are able to talk to their academic representatives of their respective college of interest. We've had social activities where students are able to meet current students and leaders in their organization and get that student perspective. We've had Penn State resources sessions where our offices, such as our Multicultural Resource Center, Paul Robeson Cultural Center, Student Disabilities, Gender Equity, Center for Sexual and Gender Diversity, all of these offices being on a panel and presenting and relaying their information to students. We've had empowerment workshops with these bus trips where students break out into smaller groups and talk about any and all types of topics. We've had topics such as diversity, inclusion, sense of belonging, to class size, class expectations, to what does a dorm look like. And again, these empowerment workshops are hosted by a panel of students, staff, and faculty members, and our prospective students are able to ask all of those types of questions to our panel members. So what you see here, again, many of these events are very similar. Depending on the type of the event is when the event is hosted. So Spend a Summer Day is typically held in the summer. We just had our virtual event this past July. Vominos of Penn State is coming up. It'll be October 2nd and 5th this year. And this is an event that's typically held in honor of Hispanic Heritage Month. Our Spend a Fall Day again is coming up November 12th and 13th. Our Let's Ride event is held in honor of Black History Month, and that's typically held in mid to late February. And then we end the year with our Achievers program, and our Achievers program is for our accepted students to University Park. So again, a lot of these have moved virtual, so keep a lookout for more information on our website and to see the types of sessions they'll include. Next slide, please. And if you guys have any questions on them, you'll have my contact information at the end as well. But location, so like Anna mentioned, we are in State College, which is in the middle of Pennsylvania. So from Chicago to University Park, it's about an hour and 45-minute nonstop flight. The good thing about State College is we have a small airport, so it's easily accessible to students and parents to take a trip back to Chicago, back to Illinois, or from Chicago and Illinois to State College. It's about a 9-hour drive as well, and a 16-hour megabus or Greyhound bus trip. And again, those bus stops for the megabus and the Greyhound are easily accessible. They're right outside of campus, and students can take one of our campus buses to one of those stops as well. And that's all I had, so I'll turn it over to the next presenter.
Hello, everybody. My name is Suzanne Schaefer. I'm the Assistant Director for Out-of-State Recruitment and Outreach at Rutgers University. And I have just a very few minutes, so I'm going to talk really fast like New Jersey people can and get through a few little information about Rutgers. So this slide shows you some of our numbers. And Rutgers, New Brunswick is the flagship state university of New Jersey. We have 36,000 undergraduates studying over 100 majors. Our students participate in over 650 clubs and organizations. They play on one of our 24 Division I Big Ten sports. They study abroad at over 180 programs in 50 countries and conduct research in one of our 175 plus research centers and institutes. So big numbers equal kind of big opportunities, but we promise you big numbers don't mean you'll be anonymous. As you can see on the next slide, this is our location. The advantage that Rutgers has is where we're located, smack dab in the middle of the state of New Jersey, but we have a train station on campus, and in 45 minutes, you'll be in New York City. The train actually also goes directly to Newark Airport, so it's an easy train ride right straight to campus in about 40 minutes. 90 minutes to Philadelphia as well. So this gives students access to internships, opportunities in New York City, really desirable for our School of Business. We have a Road to Wall Street program, as well as our students in fine arts. Some of them are, have theater contacts in the theater district, and our art students for our art in the art area. New Jersey is also the home of over 75 corporate headquarters, including Johnson & Johnson, which is international headquarters, is actually surrounded by our campus. So this gives students opportunities to do internships, not only in the summer, but actually during the academic year, and our schedule allows them to do that. And employers really like to hire new Rutgers graduates. We had a virtual job fair recently, and we had more than 85% of our usual schools show up, or usual companies show up, because they like to hire Rutgers students. They have great education, experience, and determination. And New Brunswick's a great college town too, so you don't have to go to New York City if you don't want to. The next slide shows a little bit about our campus. So 36,000 sounds like a lot of students, but we have neighborhoods within our New Brunswick campus. This shows you the 4 neighborhoods. Actually, downtown New Brunswick is the town of New Brunswick. The 4 campuses divide our school up into each neighborhood, which has individual opportunities for living, for dining, for fitness, but we're all connected by a bus system and to give you perspective, the furthest distance from Cook campus to Bush campus is about 20 minutes on our bus, which is a little like Disney World. The next slide, student life, 36,000 students, undergraduate students again. We're proud to be the most diverse of the schools in the Big Ten. And some of the same numbers, lots of organizations. If you can't find something to do at Rutgers, you're probably not looking very hard with 650 organizations and clubs, but you can start your own if you want to. Learning at Rutgers. So we have a 16-to-1 faculty-student ratio, and I already mentioned the research on campus, the research centers that go on. Research is sort of a big pillar and a part of our experience. I also want to touch here on our school-based honors programs and honors college. We have an honors college that students don't apply to. Actually, your application for admission is your application for the honors college. And the individual colleges nominate students. The best 500 students of our, across the university will live together in a residential program. But we also have the school-based programs within each individual college. So now everything's, you know, academically, if you can go to the next slide, you can kind of see the breakdown of our schools of application. I just want to make sure I'm staying within my time here. So we have 7 first-year schools that students can apply to and 4 upper division schools that students move into as upperclassmen if they want to. The first-year schools, if you're not really sure what you want to do, most students apply to arts and sciences. The School of Arts and Sciences is our largest school. It's the school where you don't have to choose a major until the end of your sophomore year, although you can declare it earlier than that, and has many, many interdisciplinary programs as well as programs, majors and minors combination. The other schools I'll mention here, Ernest Mario School of Pharmacy, 6-year PharmD program, 10 majors within our School of Engineering. Rutgers Business School has 6 majors that students can focus on. Mason Gross School of the Arts is our Fine Arts Conservatory. School of Environmental and Biological Sciences is where many of our macrobiology and science classes are, and our School of Nursing. Students, if you're not really sure what you want to do, you can actually on the application apply to up to 3 schools on the same application. If you want to flip to the next slide, I'll be finishing up with how to apply. So you can apply to up to 3 schools on the same application. The Rutgers application is available as in addition to the Coalition application. We are on the Coalition app. We ask students to fill out a self-reported academic record. I think I heard one of my other colleagues talking about that. So you won't send a transcript, but you'll actually move your classes to that or to the SRAR. And we are SAT optional this year, and optional means optional. We do not expect or want you to have to go state to state to try to find that SAT. And you will select a choice when you apply, but you can't change your mind once. And our deadlines, first year application deadline, November 1st for early action and December 1st for our regular decision, early action non-binding. And as long as you apply by December 1st, your application will automatically be considered for scholarships and honors. And my final slide is a couple of pictures of campus. While we're really sad not to have people on campus right now, we hope that you'll check out our virtual options for this fall, and maybe, fingers crossed, we'll have some options for spring for you to come to visit Rutgers, as many of us do. I mean, we've all had to pivot to a new, strange world of virtual recruitment, and so check out our websites. We all have really great programs. Here's our email addresses. Please get in touch with us if you have any questions, and we're here for you. And many of us, I think all of us, are as noted, the Illinois area people. I'm in charge of all out-of-state recruitment, but Midwest happens to be under my territory now. So I think we have time for a few questions. Is there anything, Jacob, that you think came up as you were monitoring Q&A?
I saw some questions that were kind of to all. So we have been putting a little kind of typing in responses to that. So if you put the to all questions, definitely tap into that. One I wanted to tap into was a question about, and I think all of us can just answer this very quickly, but I'll take a stab at it and see if you are different than us. But essentially the question was, if I come in with an associate's degree, how does that work? Essentially, it kind of depends, because if you're a student who got like a lot of credits as a dual enrollment or something like that, if you did it during high school, then we're going to basically treat it as kind of transfer credit. University of Minnesota uses like transferology.com as an example. This is very common for other schools. If you are like a student who started at a community college and you did like 2 years and got your associates, then you have to apply as a transfer student, and that's different. So there's a little bit of nuance to that, but that's the general theme. And I think that's pretty much how it works for all of us.
Yeah, it works for Penn State like that as well.
Perfect.
Similar. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then we'll put in the question. We'll type in average cost. Did I miss one as well, Josephine?
No, I saw average cost.
So we'll go ahead and throw that in there.
I think just one came in. Let's see, what was that one? No.
Yeah. I did see a question about if we have a psychology and a criminology program. So Minnesota, yep, psychology. And then our criminology is called sociology of law, criminology, and deviance. So it's more of a bigger macro scale at it. But Josephine, I'm assuming you have psychology.
Yeah, Ohio State we do. Yeah, I know that. Criminology is pretty, a lot is partnering with the city of Columbus too, which is really nice too. That's right in the city of Columbus.
Very cool. Anna, I think I saw that you had Penn State has that. That was a typed response in there, so you can see that as well for that person. Adam, Nebraska, do they have psych and criminology?
We do. Yep, I was going to pop in there. So we have criminology and criminal justice, and as well as the psychology program. And I think is the case with a lot of our institutions. I think we should have all of our majors listed out on our website. So feel free to take a stab at the 5 institutions here. And yeah, I think if we have a few more questions, we go ahead and touch on those. But just wanted to say thanks for everybody spending some time with us today. And thank you again. We know this is a challenging time, but feel free to reach out to us. We're here to help, and we want to be a resource for you throughout the school year. So don't be shy.
Absolutely. Well,
yeah, thank you. Please reach out to us.
Thank you. I think that is our cue. So we'll let Megan take it over.
Thank you all so much. I'll leave it open just another 30 seconds or so if you all want to type in an answer for your specific institution. But thank you all for joining us this afternoon.
Thanks everybody for coming.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.